compare with comparing these different songs.
This kind of opened up your eyes to the fact that like we always think of certain groups, but it's like all humanity is always like this.
Right.
And I don't know, it was interesting. The first one was like a snapshot of one person's life and kind of what they thought about their surroundings and warning somebody that's in there saying kind of thing like, look, this is what's gonna happen to you. But this one's more kind of like you said, like it's kind of like a piece on humanity as a whole and how through history, because it starts off talking about smallpox blankets. That wasn't a modern day thing. That was from the Indians and the Native Americans when they gave them to poison them. So it's kind of like showing throughout history, man has done this to one another. It's not a modern thing, but something that humans do to each other.
Right. American terrorists. Well, it shows. It gives a more historical view of what we would call oppression.
This is my lunch break.
Word up. We got 30 minutes left. 1:30. It's 1 o'clock now, so we got 30 minutes left. Word up. This is a bit of it shows that a more historical outlook of oppression. Most would say that the drama of the situations in the message were brought on because of government or lack thereof. But I mean, government influence or lack thereof, and societal things, societal norms. This is from the 80s. So he was writing about things that he had seen in the 70s and such. As hip hop in itself grew up, the hip hop culture began to learn that the struggles of the black inner city weren't just the struggles of the black inner city, even New York inner city, but it was a thing that people had done all throughout to the native peoples, the Muslim peoples, the Latinos, all of those, everybody, even mentions the Asians, Asian people, in caught up in this madness of strife and struggle, pain. This one is even a bit more painful when you think about especially as I said, the smallpox blanket. How many people did that involve? How many people were actually affected by the 747? 747 on the Pentagon lawn, that was reference to 9/11. There were 3 planes hijacked. 2 of the planes hit the towers, and another plane drove by a black pilot. He crashed it. He crashed that plane into the ground instead of flying it into a building and killing more people. But so the imagery is a bit more expansive. It's not as single focused in on a certain neighborhood. He's talking about all of these bad things. Imagine seeing all of these bad things happening to all of these different people all around America, different places in America. And he says, not title is he called American Terrorists. It talks more about, well, especially into the second verse, he talks about how the poor Ku Klux men see that we are brothers, not because things the same, because we lack the same color. And that's green. Now that's mean green. That's green. Everybody lacks money. We're all caught up in this game trying to chase after money, dollar bills. But none of us have enough. We lack the same color. But moving forward onto the outro bridge, is saying that the name of the song is American Terrorists. And the chorus, the more money that they make, the better that they live, the better and better they live, whatever they want to take, whatever it is. The more that you want to learn, more that you try to learn, and better it get. American Terrorists, it's like the American terrorist mindset will still tear this down each and every time. The American terrorists is sometimes we feed it with knowledge, with trying to fight and go get money, and I want to live better. And sometimes all of this that we do, just trying to even be better for ourselves, it creates us into this model of the American terrorist that does take from other people, but more so in a means, in a as a goal to serve their own person's means. A lot of people would say that America did what it did, what they Americans did, what they did. American conquerors did what they did to the natives and black peoples and other races, all in the means to so that America could make itself better, manifest destiny, and things like that. It's like Americans feel that we supposed to go out and get some more, regardless of who it steps on. That's the American way of life. But this song is meant to, well, instead of just telling you that this is bad, I'll show you how this is bad and how it hurts and has hurt so many more people throughout the history. You could even say that the American Terrorist Manifesto would be the last two stanzas. Don't give the black man food, give red man liquor. Red man fool, call the black man a nigga. Yellow man, give him a tool, make him railroad builder, but also give him a pan, make him pull the gold from the river. Black man crack glocks and things, red man crap slot machines and bring it back. Like that's just all you do. As American terrorists, that's what you do. You just give bad things that will bring the other person down. Give bad things to the people outside of yourself, so that of course you'll be the only person with good things. um, American terrorist mentality, and we could imagine who the one person who's very little mentioned would be the white males. We also call them WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant males. And everything that comes with that. European colonization, it was a big plague across the entire world. European colonization, everything, but that was when humans were a lot more primitive than we are now. But there's still been residual effects because with that European colonization, it wasn't only colonization of conquering lands, it was colonization of the mind and shackling and enslaving and trapping the mind to make these people that you were colonizing feel worse, feel bad, so that they don't have as much to fight back against you with. Um, Due to the different circumstances. But what is I do like about this, so we were talking. That's a bit about the background of this piece in itself. Some more great examples. There's more elevated rhyme scheme, more complex rhyme schemes than the previous piece that we looked at. But the opening is an excellent example of showing and telling, because it's just not. He doesn't say, I'm about to tell you what what American terrorists do, or I ain't even. He didn't say anything like that. He just says, just open. He opens by telling you to close your mind, close your eyes, and see with your heart. Just that's how he opens up the box. How do you? And then the question that he poses: how do you forgive the murderer of your father? And so then you start to think, how could I, somebody murdered my father, how could I forgive them? And in the time of thinking about that, you probably think, somebody killed your father. It would make you angry. That would make you so many things, wanting to fight. But instead, he's like, I know you're going to want to fight. You're going to want to fight. You're going to want to kill. You're going to want to do a whole lot of bad things and get revenge to somebody who killed your father. But instead of all of that, remember that the ink of a scholar is worth 1,000 times more than the blood of a martyr. Especially, well, they aren't connected. But if you were to say a martyr terrorist, well, never mind. I ain't gonna make that connection right now, poetically. But yeah, so the ink of a scholar is 1,000 times more than the blood of a martyr. It's kind of like he's saying, I know y'all people out here in the struggle are upset, are caught up in the pain of it all. You feel as bad as somebody would feel if they killed your father. But don't go killing and shooting, because if you do that, you're going to end up dead. And just remember that the ink of a scholar is worth 1,000 times more than if you were to do a whole bunch of stuff for the righteous cause, even, and die. You could do more with a pen
Because it lasts longer.
because it lasts longer.
People are going to forget about the person that died.
Right. One thing about this line, how do you forgive the murder of your father? This is another great example of showing and telling, because instead of just saying, somebody who did all these things too, you could write a whole nother poem about all the bad things that was done to American peoples. You could write, that would be a whole other, that's essentially what this is. But to preface that, how do you forgive the murderer of your father? It's a loaded question. Great poetic lines are like loaded ideas to where you read the line, and just to even process that line, you have to envision in every step of it. So you get an entire story there. How do you forgive the murder of your father? Somebody killed your father. Now you're trying to find a way to forgive them. You put right into that moment instead of imagine you had to forgive somebody who killed your family. Like, it's just how do you forgive when you're in that moment? And murdering of a father, that's even like exactly like a that's even like a it's a it's